I have shown you clearly evidence after evidence after evidence. Jesus calling himself God.
Now you're preaching,
the apostles calling himself God.
Bob, you're
Here's
preaching
another
now.
one for you.
You're preaching now.
Thomas declares that Jesus is my Lord and my God.
By the way,
The evidences are
what he has done is
Hashim
Bob,
doesn't
Bob,
want
you're
to
preaching.
deal with them.
You're preaching now.
Now, Hashim,
Wait a minute.
You, in a while.
No, you spoke more than
You
me.
were speaking
Go
a
and
while.
look at your camera.
You
Maybe
were
know.
speaking a
By
while,
the way,
Hashim.
Allah says he's Al-Hayyul Qayyum. He's the ever-living. Yes? Did Jesus ever say that he's the ever-living?
No. I think
Then it's
actually
not
I have
God.
to find that.
You'll have to find that, yeah.
Yeah.
If he was ever living, then he died at one point, which proves that he either did not die at all or he's ever living. You can't have it both ways, Bob. Come on. You need to believe in the crucifixion. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a Christian.
I do.
You see, does crucifixion, now this is the key question. Let's see if he answers that. Does crucifixion and resurrection ever apply to an immortal being?
Okay.
Are you going to answer that question?
Yeah, of course I am.
Good.
So-
By the way, see how little I spoke?
No.
Make a note of that.
So, Hashim,
Don't repeat yourself.
it's important. It's important.
He repeats himself. That's what
It's
he does.
important to point out that all of Hashim's questions are based upon false premises.
Which is the Bible.
The idea.
I used only the Bible. I
you
used
didn't.
only the Bible.
You didn't.
Yes, I
You
did.
didn't.
I did.
You're interpreting.
Go home and look at your video. I used only the Bible.
Based upon your philosophy.
I read
And
the
you
words.
Your philosophy.
Verbatim.
That I know. Christians
Okay,
do
answer the
not
question.
believe that death on the cross is the end of existence.
I didn't say that.
Hashim's argument is the idea that in some way death on the cross contradicts the idea of continued existence. Christians don't believe any such thing. Now, Christians have always believed that what died on the cross was Christ's body. We have never ever believed, as the premise of the question assumes, that the crucifixion of Christ meant that the divine Logos ceased to exist. The problem is not what the Bible teaches. The problem is the philosophy that Hashim is using to interpret the Bible.
That's right.
He needs to correct his philosophy in accordance to what the fullness of Scriptures teach.
Okay, can I respond?
The fullness of Scriptures teach that the soul of Christ
You're frothing at the
descended
mouth, Chris.
into hell, into Hades.
Into where? Hell.
Into Hades.
Wait, where did it descend?
Into Hades.
Which is hell, right?
No.
Oh, you said it.
No.
You said it.
So what? People can misspeak.
So what is Hades?
So what?
What is
People
Hades?
can
What is
misspeak.
Hades?
It's a place where the dead are kept.
Which
The souls of the dead are
the
kept.
souls of the dead?
Yes,
So,
okay.
so it's not hell?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So you
don't
believe?
think
So
so.
you do believe that Jesus died?
I believe his body died, yes.
Okay. Is the body?
Is death equivalent to non-existence?
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You presumed it.
You,
It's
wait,
not
what
true.
is it? You presumed it.
Yes, you did.
Where did I say
Yes,
that?
you did, because
What?
I'll explain.
Okay,
Let me
wait,
explain.
no, wait,
Hashim.
no, wait.
You contrasted.
Soko, do
no.
not.
The
Okay, I'm
reason
going to say.
why Hashim.
When did I
made this
say
point,
that he
I'm going
ceased
to
to exist?
explain. I'm
You-
going to
but you
demonstrate.
lied. You lied.
No, it's not a
You
lie.
said I said ceased to exist.
You contrasted the death of Jesus with eternal existence. So you assume
Do you
that
remember my
death
question?
was an interruption to eternal
Do you
existence.
remember my question?
And yes, I do.
What was my question?
Your question was, if Christ died on the cross.
No.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
you
was.
should go home and watch the video
Yes, I'm
again.
going-
Let me repeat it
No.
if you forget. It's possible
No.
for you to forget. You're a human
Hashim,
being.
I heard
you
you.
can forget.
I heard
No, but
you.
you heard it wrong.
I heard
My
you.
question was very
Okay,
clear.
repeat it.
My question was
Repeat
this.
it.
Does crucifixion... Guys. They're doing the live thing, yeah. Does crucifixion and resurrection apply to an immortal being? I never once said he ceased to exist. Please stop lying and putting words in my mouth. Bob, that is a bad habit
What
you
is
have
the
got.
opposite of immortal?
Mortal.
And what happens to a mortal?
He dies.
Thank you. So you did compare it to death, the end of existence, which is exactly the point that I was making to you.
So you're
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is what you said. You just said it. No,
You're angry.
you've just been
I know,
shouting in my ear.
I know
Don't
you're
talk to me about shouting.
Actually, you're the one shouting.
Don't talk to me
Wait a
about
minute.
shouting.
Did you just say that means cease to exist?
So,
Did you just say that? Death means
No.
cease to exist.
You said
He said it on camera. So,
You said it.
So I said that means... When did I say
And
that?
what I said-
When did I say that?
what I said.
When did I say that
What
means
I
cease to exist?
said.
Can you stop lying?
What I
stop
said,
lying and
Hashim,
stop making false
don't touch.
allegations. Stop making false allegations. He's getting angry now. So, did you see that?
Hashim.
Did you see that? He said,
Hashim is working
I
to a
actually
double
said
standard.
that
Hashim is
that-
working to a double
that
standard.
that means
He's
cease to exist.
comparing death
Bob, it's
to
time
the
for you to
end
go.
of existence.
I never said that.
So,
I never ever said that.
so let's talk about
Will you stop making
double
false allegations
standards
against me?
of Islam.
If you do not apologize, this will be the last discussion we're having.
Hashim,
Because you're making false allegations, you're lying against me.
Hashim.
I never once said death
You-
will cease to exist.
you compared
He lied.
immortality to mortality, and you said
Immortality is the opposite of mortality.
Yes, and what you're saying
Is
is
what?
that mortality is the end of existence.
Wait, did I say that?
Are you implying that?
How?
Are you implying?
No, I'm not.
So are you saying that someone can die and continue to exist?
Someone can die and the soul can continue to exist.
That's what Christians believe.
But wait,
Thank you very much.
Wait a minute.
Thank you. That's what we believe.
I never said-
Thank you.
I never
Thank
said you didn't believe that.
Thank you.
I did not say.
You're trying to
But
say
wait a
it's
minute.
word trap, and your word trap doesn't work.
Wait a minute. You said.
Thank you.
You said I
That's what we believe.
assume.
Case
Wait,
closed.
Actually,
Case closed. You're
hold
done,
on.
Hashim.
You're done.
This man's calling me crazy.
Bob,
Thank you.
you really have to listen to what I'm saying.
Proving
Because
my point. Thank you.
I never said that Christians do not believe. I never said Christians do not
Yes, you
believe
did.
that when you
tried to imply
die.
it.
How do you mean I tried to imply when I
Tried to set
told
a
you?
logical trap.
No,
and
no,
it's
no, no,
on
no.
you. And now
You know why he's scared? Why he's scared? Because he knows he's cornered. When I said that you said the body of Jesus Christ died.
Are we agreed that when Jesus died, he continued to exist?
Wait, does that mean he's not immortal?
Are we agreed?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Can I answer the way I want?
Are we agreed Jesus continued
Can I answer the way I want?
worried.
Okay.
He's worried. He doesn't want to answer the
I
question.
will answer if you let me. Okay. First and foremost, I never said that Christians do not believe when they die they cease to exist. For you to allege that I did that, that is a false statement, and you really have to apologize for that because you're lying, and that is not the truth. The truth is this: if Jesus' body died, does that mean that he's a mortal or immortal?
You're on the roast, bro.
Christ was immortal.
That wasn't my question.
No,
When Jesus,
wait, when Hashim,
Look, the penny drop.
when I asked
The penny
Hashim,
drop.
no, when I asked Hashim a question, he says, I will answer in my own way.
Answer your way.
But when I want to answer in my own way, Hashim says, no, you got to
after him,
answer in the way I want.
Double standard.
This is the double standards of the Islamic Dawah team.
Yes.
Hashim has agreed with me.
is the body dead
The
or not?
death of Christ
Yes.
is not the end of existence.
I never said it
and
was.
therefore,
I never said it was.
and therefore, it is not a
That's what I call a
contradiction.
straw man argument.
It is not a
I never said
contradiction.
something, he's attacking
It
that.
is not a contradiction to say that
Is-
Christ was immortal.
So how is
Thank
he
you.
immortal when he died?
Thank you.
How is he immortal when he died?
And this is my point.
Which is?
You're trying to make death the end of existence.
I never said.
So stop going backwards
Wait.
and forwards.
You know when you die,
Hold one
listen,
position.
Are you mortal or
You're
immortal?
dancing from your left foot
panicking,
to
Bob.
your
Calm
right
down.
foot.
Calm
Hold one position.
Okay.
Is death the end of existence?
No,
Yes
it's
or
not. I've told you the
Thank
second
you.
time.
So Christ
Now will you answer my
was
question?
immortal,
Yes.
and death was not the end of Christ.
Okay.
Thank you.
So by that
The
argument,
Logos is divine.
by that argument, we all are immortal, right?
No, because we were created.
What is that got to do with immortal?
It means we had a beginning. An immortal.
He doesn't
An
know me.
immortal.
Okay, let's define the
An
word.
immortal.
What is immortal? Define
An
immortal.
immortal.
Define immortal.
Well, immortal. Well, yeah, you're right. Actually, immortal.
Yes.
Immortal means without end.
Can we speak
No,
in space?
without end.
Without end. This is
Wait, without
However,
end.
we're
Immortal.
arguing about Christ's
Wait.
divinity.
When you say
We're
immortal,
arguing about Christ's
Hold on,
divinity,
hold on.
and my argument is that
let's
Christ had
define.
neither beginning
Let's define immortal.
nor end.
Okay. I will define immortal. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. Well, immortal, according to
Hashim.
the dictionary,
Hashim.
means someone who is not
Hashim.
subject to death. Is that right?
What can come before the first?
What can come?
What can come before the first?
Which first?
With a question.
Any
Oh,
first.
seriously,
The first.
First of what?
The first of everything.
First of what?
The first of everything.
You mean God?
Thank you. And does Jesus call himself the first?
Are you going?
Does Jesus call himself the first?
Why the red herring?
Answer the question.
Why the red herring?
Does Jesus call himself the first?
So does Melchizedek.
No, he doesn't.
Yes. He had no
he
beginning of
doesn't.
days.
No.
He had no beginning of days.
Melchizedek is an Old Testament figure. He never calls himself the first.
No, he says he had no beginning of
Paul
days.
said he has no.
These are the red herrings you have to deal with.
Paul said it.
Bob, can you answer the question?
Does
Can you answer the
Christ call
question?
himself the first?
Can you answer the
Yes.
question?
Intellectual
Can
dishonesty.
anyone come before the first?
With all due respect,
No.
after him you'll get a chance.
Jesus is
Okay.
calling himself.
Are you
God.
need to answer the question? Was Jesus mortal if he died, or was he immortal because he died?
Christ
Which
was
one is it?
divine and had no beginning and no
That
end.
wasn't my question. Is he immortal?
I will answer your question how I choose to answer your
Okay,
question.
what is my question?
Christ
What is
was
my question?
divine and had no beginning and no end.
What was my question?
He didn't have an end.
What was my question?
I'm hungry now.
You're not answering my questions, Hashim. I don't need to answer your question.
What was my question? You see, this is what I call
I already answered.
Congress. No, you haven't. You haven't.
You are saying
You said the body of Jesus Christ
to
died.
answer the
The
question.
reason he doesn't want to answer this question is because he knows his person.
That's it. Keep going, Hash.
What
Okay,
can come
now he's
first?
gone away because he knows he's lost the debate.
Nothing.
Yes.
Bob,
So
you
if
lost this
Christ
one badly,
calls
Bob.
himself
Bob,
the
you lost it
first,
badly.
who is he calling himself?
Okay, so Melchizedek has no beginning of this. Can you have anything before the beginning of this?
Can something come
Can
before
anyone
God?
have no beginning of this other than God?
Hashim,
Can anyone other than God
Hashim,
have no beginning
you
of
don't want
this?
to answer
Why you
questions.
run away?
Hashim wants to demand
Okay, you see,
people answer
you
questions.
see why he got mad
But he doesn't
at the
want to
question I asked
answer
him? Okay,
This is fear.
I think you have lost the debate.
is fear.
No, that's not
No.
it. Okay,
Hashim,
now
you got caught out, my friend.
bye-bye. Okay,
You got caught
now,
out.
now what we do? Okay, the reason he hasn't answered the question.
Bad day, Bob.
Which question?
I have to go. So
question?
we'll leave it there.
Which question did I not answer? Which question did I? You lost your voice.
I did. I've been shouting a lot. I've been shouting a lot.
Okay,
I'm not as used to shouting as you are.
by the way,
Anyway,
by the
take
way,
care of
by the way, do not believe in a mortal God. Believe in a immortal God.
Okay.
Jesus just spoke to me and said,
Doesn't
peace
listen.
be with you all.
Okay, what is it you wanted to say?
Hashim, don't believe
I
in
thought
a
you said
God.
goodbye.
Don't
All right,
believe in a
goodbye.
God.
Okay, what is it you wanted to say?
Separate from himself.
What is it?
And become a man.
Okay, the important thing is this. We asked him a question. Did the body of Jesus die? And he didn't like that question. Did the body of Jesus Christ die? That is a fundamental question which rattled him. Completely rattled him, and he knows that. The reason for that is because as soon as he says the body of Jesus Christ died, he knows what question I'm going to ask him next. The next question is this: is the body of Jesus Christ divine? Because then they can't say he's fully God and fully man. He will have to separate the hypostatic union. Because he knows as soon as he says the body died and the body is divine, then he has lost the argument of a God who is immortal. Because then you cannot claim that God is immortal. You see how he got rattled? He became red in the face. He began to shout. He is the guy who normally tells us not to shout and scream, not to hackle. This man was reduced to hackling, shouting, and actually using ad hominems, unfortunately. Anyway, we are not going to fall to his level. That's the reason I want to calmly explain this to you, that Jesus Christ cannot be God and cannot be immortal if you want to believe that he was crucified and resurrected.